What's up, guys? In today's Fan Friday, we're going to talk about how long you should run a program for and if running a program too long will diminish your gains. Alright, this is our question from this week. It says, I know progressive overload, but if you stick with the same program for months, will you still build? Great question, let's get into it. Now this question comes from someone who probably follows me a little bit more closely because they know that I don't really change my lifting program all that much. I've essentially been running the same program for roughly 7-8 months now, really since I stopped contest prep. I got on this same split and have been continuing ever since. Have I made progress? Absolutely. Have I been running this a little bit longer than your average person? Absolutely. But what I do is I don't necessarily just focus on straight sets. So for example, I'm not just doing 4 sets of 8 to 10 on all my lifts. Some of my lifts are like that, but others are in like a pyramid or reverse pyramid. So I made a video about that before where, for example, I start out a set and I do a set of 20. And then I do a set of 15, and then I do a set of 10, and then I do another set of 10, and I do another set of 15, and I do another set of 20. So with that being said, all those sets, even the back off sets, are ones that I can progress on. So there's 6 opportunities for me to do better as opposed to just, 6 opportunities of straight sets that I have to hit the exact same weight. So I think how people arrange their rep schemes is a big way that they could still make progress while running the same type of program at the same time. So that gives me 6 opportunities that the way that I lift, and I don't necessarily do that for all of my sets, but I do that for a lot of them. So it gives me 6 opportunities to set a new personal record every single time I go into the gym. And if I'm constantly setting personal records when I go into the gym, even if it's 1 and or 2 sets when I go there, I'm still making progress. I'm getting stronger, and I'm probably gaining more muscle in that progress. Now, if you're someone who runs like a straight up powerlifting program and you're running the same block, the same percentages, you're probably not going to make as much progress. But we know that powerlifting and bodybuilding are 2 different things. So if you are constantly, rearranging your program a little bit, and yes, I do rearrange how I structure my day. So for example, more recently, I was incline pressing on a hammer strength first. And then I pretty much topped out at 4 plates, and I couldn't go anywhere past that. Instead of just revamping my entire plan, rewriting myself an entire plan because one exercise stopped for me, what I did was I just rotated it to my second exercise. So now I flat press first, and then I incline press. And when I went back to the incline after doing flat, I went from doing 4 plates, now I'm doing like 3 plates and a 10, 3 plates roughly. So I have that much more room to progress on. I know I'm physically capable of doing 4 plates, but in a pre-fatigue state, I'm not capable, I'm not strong enough to do 4 plates yet. So once again, that gives me something to work on. So I really play around with my rep ranges, the way that I structure my ups and downs. And I also play around with the order of events that I do my exercises in. I think a lot of people get caught up in having to do exercises in a certain order, and then, when they fail at an exercise. So for example, you're going to be your freshest on your first exercise, second freshest on your second exercise. But when you get towards the bottom or the latter exercises, you're not going to be as strong. So you could rearrange these exercises as a simple fix to keep progressing your plan. I did that on deads a while ago. I was predominantly pulling deads first, and then I pulled deads, third exercise or so. Now deads are more back towards the beginning of my workout, but these things kind of be interchanged. So that's one way to, yes, have some kind of progressive overload. At the end of the day, any program that I run, that my clients run, are going to have some elements of progressive overload. Now, I can understand this from a person who's paying for training. They want different training programs, they want different looks, they want to see what works for them, what necessarily doesn't. I can see why someone would want to change a workout program semi-frequently just to get new looks. But for myself, obviously I'm doing my own training, and I found what works for me, and I'm just running with it. Sure, I make tweaks here and there, but really, and I feel like a lot of people also, they just simply look at, okay, how many reps am I getting and what weight did I do? When I go into the gym, I try to look at it at a little bit higher level. I try to look at, how is my muscle contraction? How is my form? Did I feel all the reps? Were my arms in the right position? Did I actually feel it in my chest? These are the things that I focus on, and I try to make every single rep count. And if I do a set, so let's say I'm doing a set of 15, and I'm a little bit fatigued, and I get to about 10, and then I eke out maybe the last 5, but they were really poor activation, they were poor form, maybe I put a little bit more body English on there. That's progress that I can make another time. So although I did get 15 reps in my book, I still wrote it down, those 5 reps were bad reps. They were poor activation, poor muscle contraction, and that's not going to get me the results that I'm looking for. So that's just one more way to progress, is look at your individual reps and evaluate them. And I know that that may be going a little bit deeper than most people would, but that's what it takes. You know, you have to get to the point where each and every rep is the most optimal that it can be. Each and every set has to be the most optimal that it can be. And I think a lot of people fall short of that. And I caught myself doing that a long, long time ago, is just kind of going through the motions, just checking it off in my book, and not evaluating the quality of the set, as opposed to just simply doing the set, moving on, doing the set, moving on, doing the set, moving on, is evaluating what you're doing. So I'll close with this, and I think that it'll help paint a good picture. One of my clients, Samantha Mabe, she was a former professional golfer. She may be watching this video right now, and she told me that she always preferred to walk the course, and you have to walk the course when you play as a professional or a collegiate player, and it helps her focus on her next shot. So for example, someone like myself, if I ever play golf, I'm zipping around in a golf cart, hacking away. That's what a lot of people are doing in the gym. They're just hacking away at their sets. They're not taking the time to focus on an individual set and make that the best they can. Just like a golfer, as they're walking down the fairway, they're thinking about their next shot. They're thinking about the next club that they're going to use. They're thinking about how much, spin on it, where they're going to aim, anything. So you have to slow things down a little bit in the gym, and that's one way to help with progressive overload, is evaluating the quality of your sets. And that's one thing that's probably more of an advanced method, is to use that strategy while you're in the gym. And I think that's going to make the biggest difference, and that's how someone can stay on a program for an extended period of time like myself. It's a great question. As always, guys, keep dominating every aspect. I'll see you soon.